unfortunately, we discovered that standard N-acetylcysteine, and every laboratory can repeat this experiment, is very simple, denaturate the spike protein. We saw in average 12–15%, which is very low, but I can tell you that I've seen now new experiments we accomplished the last 2 days, and we compare the new production we are preparing of Vaccinated NAC against the standard NAC. And I was surprised to see that standard NAC was able to denaturate only by 2%. Okay. So it's very low, which means that the protein then falls back. This was empirically confirmed over 18 months ago when we started by the doctors part of our network. They were giving patients N-acetylcysteine, and those patients might have had a few temporary benefits, but then all the troubles came back. Okay. That's where my storytelling is, that I said the universe wanted to help us because we met the right team of inventors with an amazing technology. And we had the intuition to try to use this technology for somehow improving this capability of N-acetylcysteine to denaturate the spike. And guess what? When we repeated the experiments in the laboratory, we saw the denaturation level of the spike moving up to 99.8%. Okay. How the technology works, I will tell you later. So the augmented NAC has a key benefit. That's why we started then producing, and we started distributing already almost over 1 year ago. Okay. Because we were interested into helping people getting rid of the spike protein. So what happens? Let's speak now of people who got the jab, okay? Because the vax spike is the most dangerous one. There is also the issue of the long COVID, but the majority of the people are suffering what, you know, mainstream media now call long vax, right? You saw how they first tried to sell everybody that the issue was long COVID, and then because the evidence was the opposite, they are now trying to sell everybody, okay, long vax, right? Well, long vax means that people who got the jab and have huge quantities of spike proteins, they self-produce, because remember, the mRNA technology changes the code of the DNA of the cells and turns the cells into so-called production plants of spike proteins. And we know that in some cases, we might even have the integration of this code. So there might be cases of people keeping producing spike proteins, okay? But it's enough that you have spikes attached to the receptors. And unfortunately, we have receptors in almost every organ, including the brain. And I can quote Professor Burkhardt, who died a few months ago, and last year he presented to the press. It's a German pathologist who found out that he saw the spike in all the tissues. He analyzed and he saw the spike even substituting human sperm. Okay, so this toxin is very dangerous, creating all these troubles. And we were interested in to get rid of that. So when we saw in vitro the results of the augmented NAC to denaturate, so opening up, deactivating the spike by near 100%, that's where we took the risk of, you know, starting producing and giving the augmented NAC to doctors and patients without knowing if in vivo it would work, right? We just had in vitro results, but we had no alternative, so we did that. And I can tell you that we have just now finished the first production lot of near to 25,000 pieces. And so we have been helping 25,000 people.